Welcome back to Old War Stories with Uncle Jay. Have you ever gotten a disowning letter from a relative? I have. Well, anyway, life goes on, and of course you know what the deal is. So I became of age to be interested in the female persuasion, and I found this girl by the name of Patty, who's now the wife, but was obviously a girlfriend first. And eventually we decided that we should get married, and I popped the question, and she said yes, and it was this just wonderful thing in life that, holy shit, my life is going to be fulfilled in this regard, and what a joyous occasion. So now you go shopping for flowers and a venue hall for the wedding and music for it, and who has the best food and who has this and who has that, and you need to get this and you need to get centerpieces for the tables and you need to do this and you need to do that, and the wedding dress and the tuxedos, and then your best man, and then the ushers, and then the bridesmaids, and the all that crazy fucking goodness that goes into a wedding. Now, a lot of you have probably married, or if not, have been to weddings. If you don't live in downstate New York, you don't know what a fucking wedding is, okay? Nobody does it like downstate New York. It doesn't happen anywhere else. We go to the nines here. It's just how it is. My wedding cost $25,000. We had 115 people or something, and it was a big gala affair. We had a 9-piece band, a great venue hall, these wonderful flowers and centerpieces and all kinds of stuff like that. Oh, incidentally, would anybody be interested perhaps in a revival of the Throwback Thursday series? I could break my wedding up and we could run that over the course of, I don't know, 15 weeks or so. I don't know what the runtime is on it. But we do, you know, sections, the best man speech, the bridesmaid speech. Maybe that'll all be one in that. Anybody interested in that? Because I could start editing. You let me know. I have it already ripped to the computer just for safekeeping. So if anybody is interested, let me know in the comments. But anyway, let's get back on to the war story, which I have now forgotten and have to check my thing. Disowning by a relative, yes. So, I'm Jewish, as many of you know. Patty is not Jewish, as many of you may know. There's taboo in the Jewish religion for a Jew marrying a non-Jew. There's a lot of taboo. Now, I was not brought up orthodox. I was brought up what they call conservative. Conservative means you obey many of the laws and customs, but you're not going to temple every Saturday. You're not doing this and that. I did have a bar mitzvah when I was 13. My sister had a bat mitzvah, the whole thing. So we did all of that stuff, but we're not like devout, have to eat kosher, all that kind of stuff. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, if you will. Anyways, my Uncle Saul, who was my grandmother's brother, these were devout, Jewish, orthodox, top-notch, every last little thing you could imagine Jewish, they did. Uncle Saul was weird. He was an old man when I was a kid, and he had a hearing aid. And Uncle Saul's hearing aid was one of those that looks like a little earphone that would come with a 1960s or 1970s transistor radio with a wire that came down, and then it would go into his shirt and then come out through the buttonhole, or the button, you know, between where the buttons are, and it would plug into this thing, and maybe that's where it would hear from and then amplify it so he could hear. It was just the one ear. It wasn't both, with the things that stick in your ears and nobody's supposed to know you have hearing aids on like they have today. This technology just didn't exist back then. So Uncle Sol had a hearing aid. He was hard of hearing, okay? And he was just strange all around. We didn't see him and his wife that often, or this side of the family, which was my mother's side of the family. We didn't see them very often, but we knew they were uber Jewish, or Juber. Anyways, so the wedding comes around, and I send the letter out, the invitation out, and it has my name and my last name and her maiden name, which is Irish and not Jewish. We'll leave it at that. And Uncle Sol got this invitation because you have to invite Uncle Sol to your wedding, because he actually was not my uncle, he was my great uncle, but we called him Uncle Sol. He was my mother's uncle because it was my grandmother's, or my mother's mother's brother, so he was her uncle. So we called him Uncle Sol, even though he was great Uncle Sol. I don't know where this letter is, or even if it was destroyed or anything like that, but he hand wrote, because computers, and old people, hand wrote a letter disowning me if I were to marry this goy. A goy, or a goyim, or a goyisha, is somebody who is non-Jewish. It sounds worse than it is. Oh, they're a goy. Oh, the goys do that. Oi. What a thing. Oi with the goy. Oy vey. All this oi. All the time. And Uncle Sol wrote me like a 3-page fucking letter disowning me, and how it's a disgrace to the Jewish religion and the Jewish heritage, and how dare you even think about doing such a thing, and blah 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 blah. Uncle Sol's dead. Thank you for watching this installment of Old War Stories with Uncle Jay. He didn't come to my wedding, and that was that. He disowned me, and hey, congratulations! You were weird anyway, and you died. I was disowned by a relative for doing something that was going to bring the greatest joy to my life. Now, is it the greatest joy after being married for, yes, we just celebrated our 15th wedding anniversary this 2020 year. Has it been all joy? She might be watching this, so yeah, absolutely. It's been nothing but utter joy. Giddy giddy. Yes. Right. Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. But anyways, yeah, getting disowned by a relative for that. That was real fucking kind. So rest wherever you're resting. I don't even know where he's buried, and I don't give a shit either. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.